Hi, girl. Oh, hi. Oh. Every time I put the camera, she moves.
So today I'm going to be setting up a quarantine tub for a new animal I'm getting in a couple days. It's an animal that I've always wanted, and it's a Brazilian Rainbow Boa. And so today I'm just going to set up a quarantine tub for it. I'm not putting it in my snake room anytime soon, and I'm not going to be putting it in its full kind of home until I know that it's a healthy animal and there's no mites or anything. So this tub is most likely too small for an animal the size I'm getting. I think he's roughly 3.5 to 4 feet, but this will be perfectly fine for quarantine just for the next month and a half or so, and just till I know he's healthy. This way I can monitor him a little closer, and yeah, it's a small home for now, but it's just better off for this new animal as well as the animals that I currently have to make sure everything's healthy. So I'm just going to quickly set this up, and we'll kind of go through it together. So here's the tub here. This is I think it's 110 quart. It's about 27 inches across, I believe, and about 18 or 16 inches wide. So like I said, it's going to be small for the animal, but it's perfectly okay for a quarantine tub for now. Just this allows me to monitor it a little closely. So, and if you know anything about Brazilian Rainbow Boas, you know they need to have a really high humidity, so I want to make sure I have proper conditions for it for the first little bit of its time here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up or put a heat mat on it. So I just have classic Exoterra heat mat, just an 8-watt heat mat. I know that's going to be plenty. Brazilian Rainbow Boas don't need an extremely hot heat mat. 85 degrees is perfectly fine, and these 8 watts will easily get there. And then of course, I also have a thermostat. So I ordered this thermostat off of Amazon. It was pretty cheap. It was like 30 bucks. It's called Inkbird. It's a temperature controller. It's not an expensive thermostat by any sense, so it's not a proportional thermostat or anything. It just looks like this. It seems like it's pretty good quality. It's very simple, just an on-off thermostat. That's really all I need here. I don't need any night drops or anything. It's got a nice long probe. It's actually a thick cable, and the probe looks like it's fairly good quality. I really like when thermostats come with probes that you can remove. It just makes your life a lot easier because I always fasten the probe underneath the heat mat between the tub, so it does get stuck, or it's fixed. So we just gotta peel this white piece off. So I'll take the probe kind of right in the middle of the mat, just like that. I'll take a little bit of foil tape and just fasten it like that. That way the heat mat is touching the probe. I'm just gonna stick them both on right here. So the next thing I'm gonna do is just install the temperature probe. So I have one coming onto the hot side for ambient temperature and one coming on the cold side for ambient. So I'll keep the actual device on the cool side, and we just have this probe, which I'm just going to string up to the top of the lid. So I've drilled this little hole here, and it's just going to shove it through. And you want to measure kind of close to the ground. And just like that. So for substrate for this quarantine tub, at least for the beginning, is I'm just going to use paper towel. It's just the easiest to be able to monitor anything like mites or any medical things that might pop up. It's just, paper towel is really the simplest to keep things a little more clean. And these tubs really hold humidity well, so I'm not going to need to have any sprayed down substrate to maintain humidity. This will be fine. So I only have one hide right now. I'm actually going to buy another one tomorrow before I get the animal, but I'm just going to make a quick hide here. So this is a take-home food container from Boston Pizza. So if you have something like that in your area, these are great. These look almost exactly like the hides that you'll buy from Reptile Basics or something like that. So I just take it and I just cut out a little hole for them to get in. So there's a hide, really cheap, easy hide. It'll be free with a meal. But I'm gonna run sandpaper over this to get rid of these jagged edges. I'm not gonna do that right now, but that's what I always do. I run some sandpaper over it just to clean up these edges, and that way they're not cutting themselves in. So we just have moved this tub down into the room where it's going to be, and like I said, this is outside of my snake room because it's a quarantine tub. So it's kind of just on the floor out of the way. We're gonna add water. I'll put the hide in. Just gonna go over the top of the hot spot. And I am getting another hide tomorrow to be put in the cool side. This stick, I put these little curtain rod holders in here to hold these sticks. Just like that, give them something to climb on. I'm just gonna set this thermostat. So if I read the instructions correctly, I have these two temperatures. So this bottom temperature is the temperature that I want the mat or the heat to turn off. So for now, I'm just gonna set it to 85. I think that's fine. And then 85, and then this is, I guess, the temperature that you want it to click back on when it falls below that. So, I mean, I want that to be pretty much maintaining. I think the closest, well, can you? Oh yeah, so the closest you can get them within is a degree. So it bumped my bottom temperature up to 86. That's fine. I'm gonna leave it there for now, and we'll see what the heat map. I mean, I might need to set the thermostat up a little bit higher, but we'll check the hotspot later. So I'll plug that in, and then we'll plug the probe in, just like that. So instantly you get a read on what the hotspot is right now. Obviously 72, this thing has not been on yet. And then the red light indicates that it is heating. So far, so good. Okay, so now that the water's in, our heat's on, and we got the temperature probe in here, we can sort of let it sit for a little bit and see if we can see where the parameters fall. So looking for around 74 to 75 degrees, even a little cooler on the cool side, and then about 80, 81, 82 degrees on the warm side with the hot spot being roughly 85. Doesn't need to be much hotter than that for a rainbow boa. And but the big thing is I want to see the humidity well over 75. Between 75 and 85 would be great. And if it's not quite there, then I can maybe add a humid hide or some moss or something like that. So we're gonna seal this up. So I have these lids. I always add these extra clips just to add some extra security to keep everybody inside them. They just clip on like this. And then so we'll see where everything sits. If the parameters are good, then it'll be all ready for the boa, and we'll add him in a couple of days. Went and picked up the boa today. It's the rainbow boa going in the quarantine tub that I've set up. Just gonna pull her out. We'll show her to you guys, and then she's gonna go, and we'll leave her alone for a little bit. She's a little bit excited, so you can get a good shot of her. She's really, really nice.
Oh, she's gonna fall asleep.
I don't want to handle her too much just because. But she's a really nice orange. I got a really good deal. Feels like she probably just shed. And actually I thought it was going to be a male, and turns out it was a female, so. I don't know if the camera's picking up her iridescent, but man, is she nice. Such a deep, bright orange, and she's just shimmering. But we're gonna put her inside and introduce her to her little home for the next little while until we know she is mite-free and parasite-free. Thanks a lot for watching the video. I am planning on doing another DIY cage build for this animal as well. I'm planning on using some old supplies that I found at an old farmyard. So if you are interested in seeing that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It should be up in a couple of weeks.